I just wanted to hop on here real quick in case you're out of the loop. Philadelphia is undergoing a strike, which includes 911 operators, sanitation workers. There is trash piled up all over the motherfucking city. It stinks. The rat problem is getting worse, and it hasn't even been a week. Today is also July 4th. Wawa puts on a concert and fireworks for July 4th down on the Parkway in Philly. I have so much respect for LL Cool J leading the pack, Jasmine Sullivan following. Both of the headliners refuse to perform because they feel like they're crossing the picket line. This also caused other performers to pull out. So the concert is basically non-existent. It's just the fireworks.
This is what it looked like the last time Philadelphia's largest city workers union went on strike back in 1986. Now, they're back on strike. Let's break down how this could impact trash pickup, 911 wait times, and several other city services. So District Council 33 represents about 9,000 workers in several departments like sanitation, water, police dispatch, maintenance at the airport, and more. The union wants higher pay and health care benefits. One of the biggest impacts because of this strike will be on our trash. There will be no residential trash or recycling pickup starting on Tuesday until however long the strike lasts. Instead, residents have to dispose of their own trash. The city is arranging 63 temporary drop-off locations. People can only bring 8 bags at a time and no loose trash. Recyclable materials can be taken to these 6 sanitation convenience centers. Here are the hours the drop-off locations and centers will be open. Next, 911 operations. If you're calling 911, expect longer wait times. The police department will move 200 officers into the 911 call center because of the strike. Onto the airport. Philadelphia International Airport will stay open and operational, and workers who are not part of the union will cover DC 33 jobs during the strike. Crossing guards at about 63 schools with summer programming are walking off the job too. Also, only 25 city pools will stay open during the strike since DC 33 workers are responsible for pool maintenance. Expect longer wait times for service and repairs from the city's water department. Most health services in the city will be available, but some services at health centers might be delayed, go virtual, or be referred out to another provider. Now, the mayor said her administration proposed a deal to increase union workers' pay over her term, calling it the largest one-term pay increase from any mayor in more than 3 decades.
As we mentioned, the city is starting to smell. Many streets are lined with piles and piles of trash, some so big they're taller than people. Let's go to our Dan Snyder. Dan, that is a massive pile of trash. We can't even see you with all of this in our camera.
Yeah, Aziza, I'm here. I promise. I'm actually downwind of the trash, maybe the worst place you could possibly be. But just wanted to give you a visual representation of how high the trash has piled up here at Princeton and Hawthorne in Mayfair. This has accumulated throughout the day, going up and up and up. Now, I can tell you, within the last hour, a Philly Police Department officer and a member of the Streets Department has actually come out here. They're directing people away from here, telling them to go to State Road and Ashburner. That's one of the convenience centers, so nobody else can continue to build this up as they look for ways to get it cleaned up. And, you know, we can bring you the visuals. We can show you how high this has come up. What we can't bring you is the smell.
Is fully prepared for any potential work stoppage. First, I want to start with public safety. Our streets are safe. Philadelphia police are out day and night protecting and serving the people of Philadelphia. Our 911 call centers are operational. Just don't hang up. But if you have to call 911, you call 911. Operators are there, and they will continue to take your calls. Our fire department and emergency responders will be doing their jobs all day and all night, as always. Now for trash and sanitation. Obviously, this is the topic that's on everyone's minds today. How will the city dispose of my trash if there's a work stoppage? If there is a work stoppage, the Department of Sanitation will be operating in what we refer to as a modified capacity. There will be no residential trash collection or recycling effective Tuesday, July 1st. We encourage residents and we ask you to recycling out for curbside collection until further notice. In addition, we are arranging 63 temporary drop-off locations around Philadelphia where our residents can bring their trash in the event of any work stoppage. And we will clearly and specifically list every location where the public can take their trash. It'll be listed on the phila.gov/sanitation website in the event of any potential work stoppage.
The sign reads, "Nothing beats a clean street." The street, 18th and Catherine, here in Graduate Hospital, and there's hardly any room to even walk down the sidewalk now. The fire hydrant's almost about to be covered. Hopefully there's no need for the fire hydrant here. And the dumpster at this one of 63 drop-off sites is full and overflowing. Some folks didn't read the signs and the notice about not putting out bulk trash. Here's a trash can in the middle of the trash. We've got pallets, pizza boxes, and paintings among the loose trash. There's a dog, and let's see what's underneath the dog, and a swan upside down. And that's a lot of loose trash in addition to the regular trash. There's some bulk cardboard. I guess that's considered recycling. Here's another trash can that somebody just wheeled here and left. Here's a water department project in mid-repair that is not going to be repaired until the water department, also members of DC 33, comes back to work too. So there you go. There was no parking here from the water department project that was supposed to be done at June 13th, it looks like. Still not done. So there you go. Here it is. And there's the city skyline in the background, the view from Graduate Hospital. And this now is just 22 hours or so into the strike. So less than a full day one. And this is the scene here. Just watched a man throw 3 bags of trash up, 3 for 3, and he banked one off the sign mid-dump and actually cheered. He was so proud of himself. So he banked one off this sign here to get it in there. Not bad. So there you go. I don't know if this video does this justice because this pile is probably about 5.5, 6 feet high in spots outside the dumpster. So let's hope the fire hydrant stays uncovered, but it's getting close here at 18th and Catherine Streets. One of the 63 drop-off sites in Philadelphia with not much sidewalk left to maneuver. It's about a 6-inch wide plank as we see it get added to here.
What are we supposed to do here?
Just throw it as high as you can is the plan. So there you go. We're after 10 o'clock too. I think the official plan was don't drop it off past 10, but maybe he's right by. There you go. Now sometimes if you throw it too hard from the sidewalk, it may go over and land on a car going by. So let's see. All right, that was a good one. Let's see if the other one went on the other side. No, good job. Good job. 2 for 2. Yes. Congratulations. There you go. 18th and Catherine.
All right, here we have a trash update from Philadelphia. This is just 18th and Christian. One single day. And this is the people who actually brought their trash here. If it's like 2 blocks away, the people did not bring their trash. If they put it out in the morning and they went to work, they're still at work and they did not bring their trash. But we have a full dumpster and now the sidewalk. This is going to be really excellent. So, yep. Wow, fantastic.
I didn't know that they want to put a dumpster out here. I live on this side of the corner of the house right here. But I take care of all of this right here, you know, because I cut the grass and I'm the block captain on this block here. By them throwing trash out here, they're making it more worse than what it is because they're going to draw rats, rats and all kinds of rodents that's out here. And I think, excuse me, sir, don't throw that on my side of the fence, please. I'm trying to get it from there. Don't throw that. Throw it over here somewhere. Don't throw it on my fence. This ain't gonna do nothing but draw rodents and rats and all kinds of insects that come around here. And it's gonna be bad for me because I got rats already in the house that running around. And I don't think that's right. I blame Parking Administration of having it because they didn't say nothing about no dumpster. They should at least put it somewhere where there's not a lot of resident people living around here or close by, you know, because like I said, once they get by all of this, who's going to take all of this trash? Once the strike is over, who's going to who's going to take all of this?
It's too much. It's different from taking it from the house to the front door, front pavement, then walking all the way around the corner, 2-3 blocks with a big bag this high, just to dump it in the dumpster. That's bad. That's real bad, and it stink real bad. And it make you stink when all the stuff busts on you. Miss Parker, Sherelle Parker to be exact. You're out of pocket. Get them people their money. It's summertime. The trash stinks. And you worried about budgets. Your pockets is cool. Get them people their money so they can go to work. And that's all I have to say.
What is this? What is going on? Like, Philly, please speak to me. What is going on?
Pay these people what they worth. I mean, they're not worth these pennies y'all paying them. That's my views on the strike.
This city is very proud to be blue collar and hardworking and trade and all that type of pro-union. So the people of Philadelphia, you know, if it sucks if this is what we have to do, but if this is how we got to support, you know, us, this is, you know, what we got to do.
Rail! This shit! Look at this shit, Rail! Look at this shit! Look at this shit, Rail! Look! Get the fuck out! Look at this shit, Rail! Look at it! Look! Look at this shit, Rail! Stop fucking playing with us! Get them fucking people their money! You got this shit! Grass, trash! Grass, trash! What the fuck is up? Sherelle, I'm not playing. I done been everywhere. I am the CEO, damn it! Get them fucking people their money, man! Give it to them! Look at this shit! Look, fuck it! Look at this shit! Fuck it! Fuck the 18-wheelers! You all will!
Oh my God.
With sanitation workers on strike, how is Mayor Parker's plan for Philly's trash going so far? Sanitation workers are part of the striking District Council 33, whose 9,000 union members make an average salary of $46,000 per year for high-stress jobs. Mayor Parker's administration set up 60 temporary drop-off sites, aka dumpsters, across the city. Her team also advised residents to use the city's 6 sanitation convenience centers, where you can normally drop off trash, large items, and recycling. The centers are usually staffed by sanitation workers. But that plan has had a rocky start. Folks hoping to drop trash at sanitation centers Tuesday and Wednesday were met with locked gates. Picket lines blocked the administration from opening the facilities, and waste piled up. At the Strawberry Mansion Convenience Center, a DC-33 strike captain encouraged locals to drop trash on the sidewalk instead of using an official drop-off site.
Give me a fair contract. You ain't had a raise in how long?
Some union supporters have said that using the temporary drop-off sites undermines the strike. While the DC-33 hasn't officially commented on the dumpsters, sanitation centers will be staffed by non-union workers that residents would have to cross a physical picket line to use. By Thursday, the sanitation centers were open with limited operations. That's because a judge approved the city's request for a court injunction that placed limits on mass picketing and prohibited picketers from blocking entry to buildings or disrupting city operations.
What it's saying is that we should be in here and y'all shouldn't be.
The city announced the centers will close for July 4th and then reopen on Saturday, July 5th. As for the temporary drop-off locations, the city has asked residents to only use the sites on designated pickup days to establish some order.
Don't bring trash out until your designated trash day because it overwhelms the sites that we've established.
But the asks have no way of being enforced, and vendors have had a difficult time keeping up with some of the overflowing dumpsters. Ad hoc trash drop-off mounds have cropped up on sidewalks and in parks. In a Thursday news conference, Clean and Green Director Carlton Williams said the city is addressing these issues.
We're working with outside agencies and entities to bring in additional equipment to clean up those locations, those areas where we're having those challenges and problems. So I'm asking our public to continue to be patient.
Union leadership has asked for a 4-year contract with 5% raises each year.
I'm hopeful that the city understands that the proposal that they're offering just does not meet the needs of our members to be able to live inside of this city.
Parker has offered a 3-year contract with raises of 2.75% the first year and 3% the following 2.
District Council 33 has never been offered a contract of this value by any mayor in over 30 years in the city of Philadelphia.
Negotiations ended in the wee hours of Thursday morning with no progress on the key wage issue. The two sides are not set to meet Thursday evening, so it looks like Philly could be headed for a trash-filled 4th of July weekend.
Yeah, so about this union strike in Philly, I've made other videos, and I decided to take those videos down because I just thought that I should. The thing is, with this Philly union strike, there's just been a lot of talk about wages and what's fair and what's, how much the city should, we should pay them and pay them a living wage. This conversation is getting motherfucking spicy. This conversation is getting motherfucking spicy because people feel like District Council 33 members are just asking for fair wages, and the city's being cheap, and the sanitation workers are essential workers that need to be paid well, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera. So let's just go over their proposal. I don't know how many of you have read District Council 33's proposal to the city. So I'm going to pull out some key points that I think the public should be aware of, because it's y'all talking a lot of shit. Y'all talking a lot of shit. I see a lot of creators on here talking shit about the mayor, talking about, ad hominem attacks on her looks, which is just fucking childish. You know what I'm saying? But okay, let's entertain that bullshit that y'all on. Let's entertain that childish bullshit that y'all on. And let's run through the facts. Here are some key proposal demands that District Council 33 have put up. I just want to point these out to you. So first of all, their insurance is already paid at 100%. If they choose the HMO option, then their insurance is paid in full. In addition to the wage increase that folks are already talking about, they want a fucking pandemic bonus of $2,500 to $5,000 per employee, depending on your schedule as a pandemic employee. So again, they want a $2,500 to $5,000 pandemic bonus. And in addition to the wage increase and the pandemic bonus, they also want a regular cost of living increase. They also want an essential worker designation for certain employees that pays an additional $2,000 bonus per year. And they want a longevity bonus of $400. And depending on where you work and your job, they want additional stress pay of $5 per hour. And they want a uniform allowance of $500 per year. And they want a tool allowance of $2,000 per year. And airport worker meal vouchers at $25 a day. And by the way, if they happen to fuck up your check and don't correct it within 72 hours, the employee gets to pay plus an additional 6% interest. Now, I don't know if you knew all this. I hope it sheds some light on these contract negotiations. I hope it sheds some light on the concept of fairness and put some perspective on what the union's asking for and what the city is countering with. I read this and I was blown away because the way the union is presenting this is as if it's about fair wages. The wage part is only the first part of this. The initial wage increase that they were asking for was 8% per year, right? So that's just the wages part. That discussion that they've been having in the public space about 8% and 5%, and the city's putting up 2.75 and 3% and 3.5% or 3.25%, or whatever that is. That discussion is just the wage part of this. That's not talking about the pandemic bonus. That's not talking about the additional cost of living increase. So right there, they want a wage increase, a pandemic bonus, and a regular cost of living increase. That's not talking about the essential worker designation that pays out an additional $2,000 bonus per year, depending on the employee. So these are all stacked, all this money stacking on top of each other. All right? And so if you're going to have the discussion, you need to have the discussion in full. I don't know how many of you have actually gone to DC 33's website and read their contract proposal. Because once I did that, it's like, oh, well, I can understand the city's position a whole lot more. Listen, these workers may deserve this, but this is fucking expensive. This proposal is expensive. We've all been in situations where you couldn't get things because you couldn't afford it. And so this is one of those situations where this is a very expensive proposal. You have all these other financial perks stacked on top of each other. So if we're going to have this discussion, if y'all going to talk shit, if y'all going to do all this pontificating and shit talking and fire the mayor, and we need to impeach her, and we need to stand behind the union, you need to get your facts straight. You need to have the facts straight. You need to have it. You need to be having this discussion in full context and not this typical TikTok social media childish, half-baked bullshit that y'all motherfuckers have been on. There's a bunch of creators on here, just one after another. No, the mayor. Oh, the mayor. Oh, we need to get rid of the mayor. Oh, the mayor. And it's just like, y'all motherfuckers, in classic TikToker form, you didn't read shit.
Well, nationwide, sanitation workers are paid about $45,000 a year, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Philadelphia workers make less than that and have the lowest salary out of the major cities we reviewed. In Philadelphia, sanitation collection workers are making about $39,000 to $42,000 a year. That comes out to about $18 to $20 an hour. And according to research out of MIT, the living wage for a Philly family with one child is about double that. City sanitation workers need to make nearly $39 an hour to maintain a normal standard of living, the study shows. Dallas has a similar living wage, but the average salary for sanitation workers is higher at about $44,000 a year. Chicago workers are paid the most of the cities we looked at, ranging from $25 to $35 an hour, but it's still below the living wage in that city. And salary isn't everything. Here's the union's list of demands. They're asking for better benefits for its members, including increasing the city's contribution to the members' health care and pension plans. Members who were hired prior to 2019 are all in defined benefits plans, which means the city is funding most of their future pensions. But employees hired after 2019 are in a hybrid plan that splits the cost between members and the city. The union wants to change that so that all members can participate in the defined benefits plan. And during today's news conference, the mayor addressed that demand, saying, quote, "A defined pension plan is a thing of the past."
Our defined benefit pension is something that is a thing of the past in many other jurisdictions. But I am very proud of the fact that here in the city of Philadelphia, after you've worked the requisite number of years and you get vested with the city of Philadelphia, we guarantee you an income for life. Not through a DC plan, a defined contribution plan, but a defined benefit plan. Right here in the city of Philadelphia. I'm proud of it.
Just before 11:30 p.m., 24th District Police and Fire Department paramedics responded to a hit-and-run auto accident in the 3900 block of Delaware Avenue. When medics and police arrived on location, they found two victims, a 36-year-old male and a 30-year-old female, that were both struck by a vehicle. Medics took both of these victims to Jefferson Torresdale Hospital. The 36-year-old male had severe injuries to his head and face, and also injuries to his upper torso and both arms. He was semi-conscious. He was listed in very critical condition and undergoing surgery. The 30-year-old female had some bumps and bruises on her body, was transported by medics to Jefferson Torresdale Hospital, where she is in stable condition. So she is expected to be okay. Now, preliminary information is that these two victims were sanitation workers, and they worked in the sanitation yard at that location, 3900 Delaware Avenue. They were sitting in chairs in front of the sanitation yard when a vehicle going northbound on Delaware Avenue jumped the curb. After jumping the curb, struck both of these victims that were sitting together in separate chairs. After striking these two victims, the striking vehicle left the scene. So this is a hit and run. The vehicle continued, according to witnesses, going northbound on the sidewalk. Then the vehicle went back on the Delaware Avenue, made a U-turn, and went southbound on Delaware Avenue. Police were notified because there were police on the scene of the demonstration area, and they immediately put out the description of the vehicle, and 24th District officers did a great job. They found the vehicle, took the driver into custody in about 2 minutes' time after the accident. They stopped the vehicle in the 3000 block of Castro Avenue and took the 40-year-old driver into custody and also a male passenger into custody. But the 40-year-old driver of the striking vehicle appeared to be intoxicated. So not only was he arrested for the hit and run of this accident, but also for suspicion of driving under the influence. Inside the vehicle, we found some containers of alcohol, some sealed and some were open. So that is part of our scene. So 24th District Police did a great job stopping this vehicle within minutes after the auto accident. It's a Chevy Tahoe large SUV. So right now, we're just hoping for the well-being of the male victim, who is 36 years of age, who was struck by the Tahoe, because he's in very critical condition, undergoing surgery. There were several other sanitation workers employed at that location that were also on the scene, and some of them are being interviewed as witnesses. East detectives, as well as our crash investigators, are both going to process the scene and are interviewing witnesses, and will interview the female who's stable at Jefferson Torresdale Hospital. The vehicle, the striking vehicle, is being held as a crime scene, not only for fingerprints and DNA, but also because of the alcohol containers. That's being held in the 3000 block of Castro Avenue, which is about 5 blocks south of where this hit and run auto accident took place. But it's a joint investigation by East detectives and crash investigators at this time.
So it doesn't appear to be on purpose or anything of that nature?
It's unknown of the intentions of the driver. He was driving north on Delaware Avenue, for some reason jumped the curb, and then was driving on the sidewalk where these two individuals were sitting on chairs, separate chairs, in front of the sanitation yard where they worked. So not only is this the sanitation yard where they work, but this sanitation yard is a temporary drop-off point for trash and sanitation because of the strike. That's why the sanitation workers were out there. But these two happened to be sitting on a chair on the sidewalk, and this vehicle jumped the curb, we don't know why, struck them, continued northbound, then got back on Delaware Avenue, turned around and went southbound, and fled the scene. A hit and run auto accident.
So Chief, these two victims, are they DC-33 workers?
Yes, they are both assigned to that sanitation yard. They're both sanitation workers, yes.
Last question. I don't know if it's true. Do you know whether or not the female victim is pregnant?
That's some preliminary information we did get, that she may be pregnant, but that hasn't been confirmed.
Is that why the scene was blocked off so far? Is just a wide area to search, or?
Well, the scene was blocked off because we start the measurements and photographs where the vehicle jumped the curb,
Sure.
and then it drove hundreds of feet northbound to strike these individuals on the chairs, and then continued northbound another at least 100 feet, and then went back onto the street. So that entire area is part of our crime scene, where not only crash investigators but each detectives, they're going to take measurements and look for any marks on the street where the vehicles jumped the curb, got back on the curb, and it was a pretty involved crime scene, but it's going to be thoroughly investigated.
Sure.